Hi, my loves. How are we doing? All right. So immediately I'm kind of hearing there is a reminder that you need to remind yourself with. So per usual, if this doesn't apply to you, sit right with you. Don't want to hear what I have to say. That is okay. I will return some other time, but there is something I feel like your guides are doing. Let me remind you on something real quick. What are they trying to remind you on? Oh, wow. King of Cups and Queen of Cups in reverse. And then I have the Devil at the bottom of the deck. This is clearly talking about a love situation that you're no longer, with it being in both of them being in reverse, you guys haven't seen or heard from each other in a long time. You guys clearly are in separation of some form, okay? I'm hearing, they're trying to remind you on something. It's like, there is a reason why you guys went into separation. With the Devil at the bottom of the deck, there is a reason why things ended off between the two of you. Don't forget that. You both could be water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You both could be like air and air pairing, earth and earth, etc. Water is very significant, though. Even if, water sign is not applying for the both of you, it's more about you guys clearly had a deep emotional connection at one point. This feels very, maybe a long-term connection you guys had. Maybe you guys were together for a little while. What else are they trying? I'm here. Just don't forget why you two broke up. Literally, Two of Wands. Why there is a distance. There could be, you guys could live long distance from each other. But even then, there seems to be a waiting period that has happened. Yeah, Eight of Wands. Maybe, let me see who's doing. Is it you or is it this person? There's somebody that wants communication here. Is it this collective? Okay, and then I got the Death card. It could be the both of you. It could be this collective. It could be this person. Take that part, I guess, how that applies. There's heavy Scorpio energy that is coming out of this. But there is something about it. Could be very much this collective. You want something to change. Because again, I'm hearing you need a reminder. You need to be reminded why you guys broke up in the beginning. Why you guys have been in separation. And it's kind of like at this point, like I said, I feel like this collective, you are wanting some form of change out. I think you do eventually want this to kind of reconcile. At least want some form of communication. You guys to come closer in some ways. I will say, I don't think immediately you're all the way doing I hope we get back together, but you are wanting to be in this person's life as some form. You want to keep up with this person's life. You don't like the distance between the two of you. Yeah, the Five of Pentacles in reverse at the bottom of the deck. You don't want to feel left out of this person's life. It's like you feel like you're missing a chapter without this person. Let me see this Queen of Cups in reverse, because that's clearly this collective's energy. Seven of Cups, heavy water energy. Like I said, heavy Scorpio is coming out of here. Let me do another one for this King of Cups in reverse. Nine of Wands. 1 second. I think the two of you were never on the same page. I'm going to be honest. I feel like your person feels like they weren't appreciated enough. And you felt like you were doing a lot or investing a lot into this, dynamic right here. And that's where I feel like this could be like a long-term connection of some form or some form of long commitment. I don't feel like this was short-lived because I feel like in a way I'm seeing two people. Could be you, could be this person, could be the both of you. I'm seeing more you both kind of checked out in the dynamic. One or both of you like just checked out. And I always say maybe it was this collective, to be honest, because I always say, let's be real, not always, but men, I'm using this for say this for men, and when they break up 9 times out of 10 it's out of impulse, it's out of emotion, they don't think psychologically when they do it all the time, where women are a little bit different, because women, especially when it comes to a commitment, they are, before they initiate the breakup, odds are they checked out of the dynamic like months ago. That's kind of the, you know, idea I am getting. Maybe this person, in their mind, they felt like they were, again, you could disagree with this. I can't help how they're feeling, though. They felt like they were trying to keep the connection going. And maybe this person kind of knew you were checking out. In their mind, they were trying to put in the effort to keep you around. Again, this collective, you could completely disagree with them. But I'm saying this for a reason, because I feel like this person has brought it up to your attention at one point that they don't feel appreciated, or they were trying to keep the dynamic and you weren't responding. And like I said, for this collective, for a long-term commitment, if it got to the point that you were checked out of the relationship, that means there was clearly some toxicity and you were done. I think this collective, truly, you hit a point with this death card. Literally, you hit done. Maybe you were the one with the 9 of Wands energy that was battered and bruised and trying to keep, and then eventually you're like, okay, I'm done. With that 7 of Cups, I feel like you did embody this energy of, I'm going to try something else, or I'm going to go on my own way. I'm going to, you know, move away from this, whatever this is applying to you about. But again, I keep getting, you need to be reminded of something, of why you guys broke up. And I think you are starting to miss this person. I think you are starting to maybe blame yourself in a certain way. Like, dang, like, you know, in a way, I think you did look at this person as your best friend at one point. Like, I probably missed quite a few chapters in their life. I just want to know how they're doing. Yeah, 7 of Swords. There's that little bit of sneakiness that is going on. So I got 7-7 here. 7s could be very significant. Maybe you're being let me confirm that Set of Swords. Maybe you're being nosy a little bit. Yeah, 10 of Swords. Do not forget why you guys ended. I do feel like, though, there was some sneakiness was going on. And especially if you checked out of the dynamic pretty early on. Makes me curious if this person was always, again, I don't mean to trigger this collective, maybe they were always cheating on you, or always messaging other people, or doing this person, you feel like this person was always doing some sneaky stuff. And again, no wonder I'm hearing you eventually checked out of the relationship. You were fighting tooth and nail, because, you know, I hear this all the time. Again, I'm going to bring up women. Again, gender doesn't matter, you know, on my page. But they say, like, when a woman begs and pleads and fights for your attention, she's still into the relationship, but when she's finally quiet and backed off, she's done. That's kind of, again, how I'm feeling that this dynamic worked, is like, maybe for the longest time you were begging and pleading for this relationship to work. Maybe you gave this person, in your mind, more than one opportunity to, you know, make this get better. But again, I can't help that your person's energy is here either, and I'm not saying they were an angel, because they definitely were not, and I can clearly see that. But in their mind, they tried to fix it and you didn't forgive them. Right or wrong, I think this person was in the wrong, because I can't help that we saw the devil earlier at the bottom of the deck. That's toxic. You know, unfortunately, you guys had a toxic connection, and it's like, don't forget that. I understand you miss your best friend, and, you know, I do feel like when you guys were good, you guys were extremely close. You were literally on top of the world with each other. You conquered the world right here, literally right here, okay? But I think a part of you is doing that. I hope this person changes, but I don't think they have, my loves. And again, I keep here, do not forget why you guys broke up. Death. Ace of Pentacles. And I think what is happening is you're going through a transformation right now. I think maybe for some of you, you are in your 7 of Cups of like wanting to date and seeing what else is out there, and that scares you a little bit. That's where I feel like that this has been a long-term commitment of some form. You definitely, I'm seeing you guys were together for at least a year, okay? Because that's kind of, you guys, you know, had a life together at one point. For some of you, you could have been married at one point. But regardless, it ended, and it ended for a reason, and it's because of the sneaky stuff your person was doing. It was manipulative. And I can't help how this collective feels about this person, but what is happening right now, this ace of, with death comes rebirth. In order for your new life, you got to sacrifice this. Do not forget why you checked out of the relationship, why you guys broke up. Like I said, I brought up how your person feels a little bit, but that's not enough. Sometimes love alone is not enough. This person clearly took advantage of you and never really treated you properly. Literally, the Page of Swords and the Emperor. Maybe, like I said, part of you're doing some spying to see what this person's up to right now, but they're saying chapters closed with the Ten of Swords. King of Wands, it's time to move forward. And that's how they've always presented to you. King of Wands is not an honest king. Very lustful, passionate. It's time to move forward from that. You deserve better. Don't forget that. That's your reminder.